Hey guys, I can't make this stuff up. We've got another bass fishing tournament cheater exposed. Shout out to Straight Yak. I'll leave a link to the original video in the description below, but he did all the investigative legwork on this. And I've been out of town for a couple of days for work, and I came back and I cannot believe, well, I can believe, but it's still a shock that we've got yet another bass fishing cheater. This just seems like it's becoming more prevalent. You know, more and more we see this happening across the country in different fishing tournaments. It's not just in bass fishing, it's in all series of fishing and all species. And I can't figure it out. I don't know what people are thinking. I mean, we've had everything from lead weights in fish to, split tails to lead shavings in fish, you name it. And, tied to docks, fish baskets. It's just hidden compartments even, you just can't make this stuff up. But I'll tell you, this is another one right here that's pretty shocking. And, locks only keep an honest man honest. A true cheater and a thief is going to steal no matter what. And there's no excuse for this one. So I'll get right into the video. We'll get to Straight Yak's video here. And, he did a bang up job. And I just wanted to jump in here on this because I want to help spread the word about cheaters in the sport that we all love. Okay, let's take it away. Let's listen to Straight Yak.
We have a confirmed cheater, somebody who was confirmed cheating in the past, living within a gray area in tournament fishing, is now confirmed cheating in a monthly long tournament for KBF. And we'll jump into this, okay? Here's the thing, guys. You cheat and you don't know that you cheated. You can claim ignorance, and that's fine. Maybe you're DQ'd from that event and you move on with your life. Do it again with some better knowledge and know-how. But you go out of your way to cheat again and do it in a blatant way, now I've got no remorse for you. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to do everything we can to throw the book at this individual.
Guys, check this out. I just want to pause right here for a second. So if you've ever fished a bass tournament, or any type of fishing tournament, there's rules, right? There's rules. I mean, we're a nation of rules and laws, and there's rules in everything that we do. And it's not uncommon to have a rules briefing before the tournament starts, whether it's a day prior or just prior to launch, blast off. You always get a rules brief, and you talk about things that you can and can't do, off limits areas, no wake zones, to check your live wells, do all these little things, to make sure that we try and keep the sport, the event, honest and open and fair competition. And I don't think that it's too much to expect to be able to go out to one of these tournaments and expect that you're going to have a fair shake at winning this thing, right? So there's just no excuse for this. It's just blatant. It's just flat out stealing and theft is really what it is. And I don't know about you, but I can't stand a thief. And I just want to hear what your thoughts are. Leave a comment. I'd like to know what you think about all this. So back to Straight Yak.
We are calling his name out right now. His name is Jacob Hausman. Now, we've had issues with this individual in the past. Out on the Susquehanna, he was confirmed cheating on the KAS when he was fishing too close to a dam. He was cutting everybody off. He was fishing, well into, let's just get this off the bat. If you're fishing in a kayak tournament, regardless if it's a monthly, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day championship, whatever, classic. If you're fishing in a kayak tournament, you need to be in a kayak. Why? Because boats obviously have an advantage to get you to the area that you want to go to a lot quicker, a lot faster, all that stuff. But then at the same time, that's just what the rules call for.
Now, guys, I've not fished a kayak tournament. I don't fish kayaks. I fish out of a bass boat. But I know that there's online tournaments. There's these things called Tourney X, that manages tournaments. And I kind of have a vague idea of how that works. I've never participated in one of those. I'd like to hear your thoughts if you have, or your experiences, but it seems like it's pretty much an honor system. They have some checks and balances in there, but when you've got guys out there that are manipulating GPS coordinates and photoshopping and using AI, intentionally trying to cheat, and then this guy has a cutout of a kayak on his bass boat. I mean, again, man, it's just a true thief, right? You can't make it up.
If the rules call you to wear a clown outfit while you're out there fishing, then you better be wearing a clown outfit. But I'm just here to tell you guys, it's blatant. Now, the way that he was caught. So let's just start off with an individual who just absolutely disliked this guy from the last couple tournaments that he fished, went ahead and did some research on his own. And we're going to keep that guy's name just out of the mix of things just for right now. but he saw a fish, a selfie that Jacob had taken and put on his Instagram. And when he saw that fish, he's like, that looks oddly familiar to the fish that he submitted for the New York KBF. And it just so happens that he was saying that he caught that fish on the St. Lawrence River. And so when you compare both of the fish, and this is what I did, I put both of the fish together and I looked at them so you guys can look right.
Let me move this over. I want you to take a look at this fish, right? There's no mistaking that this is the same fish. I mean, if you look at the markings right here on the tail, you can tell, I mean, it's identical. Splotch for splotch, stripe for stripe, scale for scale. And no two fish have the exact same identical markings. They're just like humans, right? It's in their DNA. They all have different composition and makeup, and there's no two fish that are identical. So even identical twins have some differences, and I've never ran across identical twins in bass fishing. So definitely you can tell.
Right now, and then this is the fish selfie. And so we combine them together, obviously, you can see all of the similarities. That's the same fish, plain and simple. Okay. And so when this was brought to the light, that started us digging. And apparently, when we went to the New York KBF, and when I say we, this is individuals that were working on trying to find the evidence to bring to light. When they went to the New York KBF, they had a board meeting, they sat down, they looked at it, they realized those were the same fish, but they went a step further and found a dock photo of this guy in that boat with, clear as day, a cutout, I guess it looks like a Walmart purchased sun dolphin maybe. So what we're thinking, or what everybody's assuming, is that he went to Walmart, bought a sun dolphin, cut it out, or maybe he already had that from home and brought it up with him, whatever. And went out in the boat, caught these fish, and just used that cutout as a way to submit it for the kayak tournament. And so this dock photo that came up is just clear-cut evidence. And so what they've...
Now, the guys, you saw that. Can you believe that this guy went to the level of effort to take a cheap kayak, right? I mean, you can tell it looks like one of those Walmart specials that you see outside the lawn and garden section, leaned up against the fence for like $169 or something. Took a Sawzall or something and cut out the seat area so that and mounted a seat so that when he was out on his bass boat and he caught a bass, he could position himself in that piece of cutout kayak with a bump board in his lap, and it looked like that he was sitting on a kayak to take a photo of a fish. Now, the unfair advantage of this, again, is there's more stability. You can probably last a little bit longer on the water because you can move around. I know I could anyway. You can get to different spots quicker. I mean, kayaks and bass boats have forward-facing sonar and electronics and things like that. But on my bass boat, I can carry a lot more tackle, a lot more rods, and I can have a lot more options to get after the fish than I could if I was on a kayak. But that's the level of effort that this guy went to try and cheat and steal money, just flat out theft, stealing money from other anglers in this tournament.
Found is that they found the photo had no, Photoshop done to it. There wasn't AI enhanced in any way. This is a legit dock photo from the St. Lawrence River of this guy with a cutout on his boat of a kayak so that he could submit fish to the kayak tournament while fishing out of a bass boat. Plain and simple. And so obviously you guys know that is a blatant violation. That is something that he knew in his head was cheating, but he went ahead and did it. And now at this particular moment, we are going through the process of trying to get him not only, well, he's already banned from the New York KBF. They're looking for a lifelong ban, but then at the same time, banning from anything else, any other competition. We are going to be talking to the owner of Attorney X. Those of you who don't know, that's Dwayne Wally. We're going to talk to Steve Owens, a Bassmaster, and we're just going to bring this evidence to light. And then eventually we're going to figure out a finalized product of what we need to do to make sure that this doesn't happen again to other individuals thinking about cheating, but also to Jacob in himself. Are we talking fines? Are we talking, jail time maybe? I don't know.
So guys, that's the end of the video. And again, I'll link over to straight the original video here, but that's the end of the clip that I wanted to show you. And at this point, I'm not sure if we need emotional support counselors or if we need some way to put more, more stringent rules or whatever into fishing, but it's definitely getting out of control, guys. And I'd really like to hear your thoughts on it. How do you think we can prevent this from happening in the future? And really, what should happen to this guy? I agree with everything he said. The guy should be banned. He should potentially face criminal charges like those guys did up in Cleveland who were stuffing weights and fish fillets down in walleye. I think that these guys need to be made examples of to deter other people from trying to cheat in bass tournaments and in fishing tournaments, a lot of local tournaments, like local circuits. And I'm just wondering how much of this is actually going on. I try not to look at people with a tainted perception, and think that they're all thieves. But I'll tell you, it's getting harder and harder every day to look at people and not be suspicious about their motives, right? And I mean, come on, man. I mean, we're talking $50, $100 entry fee. I'm not saying that everybody has that money to throw around, but if you needed $50 or $100 that bad, I would much rather you come and ask me for it. And if I had it, man, I would give it to you. But don't steal from me, right? And don't steal from the other folks who love this sport and have a passion for fishing and really just want to get out there in the sense of fair competition, and compete with their fellow anglers. Most of the times just for bragging rights, So I'm not making a living at fishing. Thank God I've got a 9 to 5, 5-day-a-week job, but it allows me to pursue the sport that I love, and that's fishing, a passion I've had since I was a young kid. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. If you don't mind, hit that like, subscribe button, leave a comment. Helps the algorithm, to push out the video. That's the only reason I ask for it. And look forward to talking to you again soon. We'll do some more of these commentary videos. Until we get to link up again, stay safe on the water, tight lines, and every cast is a mission. RCBassin out.